Despite the frigid desolation of the Arctic Circle, the largest land predator lurks in that barren waste, and is one of the few beasts on Earth willing to hunt men. Hello and welcome to episode 112 of the Planet Zoo Experience. Today, we are talking about the polar bear. Native to northern Canada, Alaska, Russia, and the entire island of Greenland, the polar bear is an animal everyone knows, yet I still feel is underappreciated. As stated, it is the largest predator on land, weighing roughly 660 to 1,760 pounds, but the largest ever recorded was shot at a weight of 2,209 pounds. Of course, an animal of that size you'd think would have some kind of weakness for a counter, right? Wrong! There's a reason that the saying is black, fight back, brown, get on the ground, white, say goodnight. Because this animal is able to run up to 25 miles an hour, a little less than twice as fast as the average man, and only slightly slower than Usain Bolt. Granted, he also only ran 65 to 87 yards. So unfortunately, even if you can outrun a polar bear in speed, it will catch you, seeing how they are known to track prey for literal miles. This is due to their amazing sense of smell, with the ability to smell prey from 6 miles away and even from under 3 feet of ice. Now, all bears had split from the caniform superorder roughly 55 to 38 million years ago in North America. Interestingly, the polar bear actually evolved from a group of brown bears that specked into the glaciers and ice sheets of the northern hemisphere. And we aren't quite sure where they originated from, since the brown bear had already crossed the entire hemisphere, but we do know that they likely split off from them roughly 600 to 343,000 years ago. While usually I end the history section at their fossil record, we might be seeing the next step in their evolution, which could even be devolution. Now, a lot of people don't like the term devolution because there really isn't a goal to evolution. There's no forward or backward, it's just whatever works. But this may actually be the reversion of a species. As the ice sheets melt and the polar bears are forced back onto land, they have been breeding with brown bears, creating what are known as broiler bears. And with polar bear populations decreasing, the brown bear populations increasing due to successful conservation efforts, it's not impossible to think that the polar bear may be re-enveloped genetically with brown bears. Though, since ice sheets are melting, there is a chance that they may go the other way and become an aquatic predator. But unfortunately, we will not be able to know in our lifetime, as this will take hundreds of thousands of years. Culturally speaking, we have quite a bit to talk about. So, let's start with the old world, shall we? Both in the East and West, many early writings of the animal was spoken almost like a mythical creature that was only known by hearsay. A massive white bear that probably was seen similar to modern ideas of the great white whale, or if you're from America, Hogzilla, which was more of something that definitely could be, but no one's really come across it. However, as time went on, the European people eventually became more acquainted with the bear of the sea, and the lovely people of Norway and Russia would do the reasonable thing humans do and start hunting them for their pelts and fat. After a while of researching animals, you realize human interactions of new species follow a pretty similar route. But they were also appreciated alive as well. As a matter of fact, by 1252, the menagerie at the Tower of London had a living specimen in its custody. Now, this is roughly the end of the European side of the story. The only thing is, conservation efforts would eventually arise, the same song and dance of the modern era. So, let's jump over to the Inuits. Many of the Inuit people would hold the animal in a very high regard, often being seen as a cultural keystone species. Known locally as the Nanook, it was seen as a mighty being that at times was even seen as almost human. It was revered by hunters who often offered tools and weapons to the animal spirit after a harvest. Many tribes believe that the animal actually allowed them to be killed just to get these offerings in the afterlife. There is also an underworld god of Inuit faith known as, let's see if I can say this right, Torngarsuk, that often took the form of a massive polar bear. And even now, while under Danish control for the time being, the Inuit culture dominates Greenland, as the polar bear is essentially the entirety of their coat of arms. And finally, I would like to speak about Magnet. Now, I don't really care that this beautiful bear probably isn't really relevant anymore, but it being a featured animal of the original Zoo Tycoon, I'm going to talk about it, because that shit was my childhood. So you're just going to have to deal with it for the last few minutes. Magnet was born in 1988 and was a beloved animal of the Baltimore Zoo. He was famous for his love for a big red ball, and during the development of Zoo Tycoon, Microsoft held a competition called The Beast in Show, where real-life animals were nominated to be put into the game. Despite the stiff competition of Hansa the Asian elephant, Liberty the Bengal tiger, and 7 other key animals, Magnet would be the winner. He was introduced into the game with the same price and needs of a normal polar bear, but had a more fitting cream color palette and an animation where he plays with his signature ball. Unfortunately, he had to be put down in 2015 after succumbing to liver and kidney disease. But that is all I have to say today about the polar bear. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything you'd like to add about the polar bear, feel free. I do love to see comments, especially those that give me a little bit more insight on the animals. I do also want to say, I'm sure some people may have the idea that I have forgotten important things. I have not. I understand a lot of facts are left out of these videos, mostly because I want to keep them a little bit condensed and also trying to find things people may not be aware of. So don't worry if I forget something, like, for instance, in this one, the fact that polar bear fur is actually clear. It's just because I feel that information has been spread around plenty enough as it is. So, until next time, go outside, touch grass, hug your loved ones, drink water, bye-bye.